we are beginning our lesson number 16. The page number Dalet 4, the left column in Hasulam, the line 26. He told us that Zeir Anpin in its Sphira Yesod has actually two opposite qualities. The Yesod is as masculine, and the Ateret Yesod is like a feminine. Because as I have spoken, the last lesson, in the world Atzilut, from the world Atzilut, and further, the zivug, the copulation, the interaction, are made on the Ateret Yesod. Ateret Yesod, the crown of Yesod, makes all the necessary boundaries, and or choser, and the reflected light, etc. How it's possible we will see, because there is something else that we will learn a little bit, that how Ateret Yesod can substitute the Malchut. We have learned that only Malchut is the real grown-up wish to receive. So only at this stage of the Malchut, actually the reflection of the coming light should take place, and not on other Sphira, because all other Spherots are actually the qualities, the attributes, the properties of the light. They don't have this thickness of the wish, this density of wish, this coarseness of wish, enabling to reflect the coming light. But then we will see something special that I can just mention, just by the way, that you remember the real Malchut from the Tzimtzum Aleph, from the first restriction that is concealed in the head of the Attic. This Malchut actually influence every single place of possible zivug, interaction between the higher and the lower, e.g. the Ateret Yesod. So this Malchut that is hidden over there provides this warmness, warmth to the Ateret Yesod, that gives also the some coarseness, thickness, as it were. But this is just by the way. So we know that this is in connection to the real Malchut of Tzimtzum Aleph. This enables Ateret Yesod to become like Malchut. And still, what does it mean, the zivug, the copulation in the spiritual? There are only 10 sfirot. In the head of a partzuf, in Rosh, the name is Rosh in Hebrew, there are 3 sfirot, Keter, Chochmah, and Bina. Bina can descend from the head into the goof of the partzuf, into the body of the partzuf. But normally Bina is counted to as the third sphera of the head of the partzuf. So in the head we see that under the Bina normally is a place called Peh, a mouth. And the light comes to this place that is called mouth, Peh, and from this place, and this place has a masach and screen. The powers, anti-egoistic powers, not to let the light come into. Why? Because that's all about the creation, is the tzimtzum. The tzimtzum made the restriction made the creation possible. So everything starts with the tzimtzum, or the power to restrict. So we see it also in the place as Peh, the mouth. That when the light comes, the light always comes from the upper level. And the light that comes from the upper level wants to come through the lower level. And even within one level, like 10 sferot, the head is, as it were, a higher level in comparing to the body of the same level. That's why the light from the Rosh wants to come inside the goof. Why? Because in lights there were not at all any and all restrictions. The restrictions were only in the kilim. That's why the light always wants to come into the kilim that restricted themselves. So in the head, in the peh, the light comes, the or yashar, direct light, comes to the peh, the place where the head ends, and this starts the malchut that makes the zivugim, the copulations with this light, or yashar, the direct light. Again, for the same reason. Firstly, not to allow the light to come in, just because of this issue as restriction. And then the Malchut counts in the head how much she can allow to enter the light within here, within this Malchut. There is no other place to bring the light in, except this Malchut that brings the light into here, from here and into here. And then it comes to another Malchut, within this Malchut. And then the other Malchut also makes the same and brings the light from here into here. And in such a way, all the universe and all the fully inner place of a person who studies and works on himself and studies Kabbalah, in the same way, all these Malchuts, one by one, receive the light, first reflect the light, first restrict the light, just it gets him back from the pair, and then it counts how much it can receive of it in order to receive it correctly or in the kosher way. And then it reflects reflects this light for this certain quantity for which it can receive it legitimate, and takes this light into itself from this Malchut into this Malchut for 10 fully Sfirot. This process of interaction with the light, reflection of it, and bringing it within is called Zivug De'aka, the slashing, how do you call it, copulation, or there are different translations, but first comes the hitting or striking, yes, because, why? Because the light wants to come and the Malchut strikes it back, and then she allows it for a certain quantity to come in. That's why it is zivug. From one side it is allowing to come inside copulation, and from another side it is striking zivug. And this is the only way to bring light from one level to another level. We will see that there are different kinds of ways to bring the light from upper to the lower. But interaction takes place in this way as I just mentioned it. So we see that in the head of a parzuf of 10 sfirot, precisely in the peh, there is a place for a copulation that is called spiritual spiritual copulation, spiritual zivug ruchani in Hebrew. Why? Because in the peh, look, it's like we can compare it with the earthly kissing. It is also another name is zivug of kissing, copulation of kissing. Yes, as a man and a woman kiss each other. We don't understand in our time, but it's already zivug. It's spiritual zivug. I mean, also on earth it is already zivug. Of course, especially in the Western society, it's just a habit, a culture to do it like this. But actually, it is already a zivug. It's not just cultural event. Of course, it depends on the intentions. But it is a zivug. But it is not a zivug as when the children can come out of this zivug. So this is zivug of kissing. It is a zivug that doesn't and from every zivug must come, as a result of a zivug, must come a product of a zivug, yes, a child, or something that is a reproduction. And this is a zivug of kissing, zivug neshikin, another word. And then the light comes out of this zivug. The Malchut brings the light, or choser, that this reflected light by which it reflected the coming light, takes this light, Chochmah, let's say, into herself, into her reflected light, and brings both lights inside her. And then this light comes into her, this Malchut. The name of it is Malchut Mizdaveget, Malchut that makes zivugim, copulating Malchut. Then it brings it inside for 10 sfirot, and these 10 sfirot beginning with the Malchut in the Peh. The first Sphera that comes inside is Keter, always like this. When the out of the Zivug, the first Sphera is Keter. And then ends with the Malchut of the Guf, Malchut of the body. That Malchut that ends in the body of the Partzuf is the name of it, Malchut Mesayemet, Malchut that ends the all receipt of light. Okay. And then again and at that point there is also a zivug, can place a zivug. Later we will see how further. Then the next kind of a zivug is zivug of in the place that is called Yesod. So fundament, like Yesod. So as we have spoken about this, this corresponds to the sexual organ. Remember, we don't speak any word about our world. It's just we use the words that correspond to some things that we can see the place in the Partzuf. So this zivug, when a higher level gives to a lower level, what gives? Mochin, the light that comes from the head of the higher Partzuf. And it is, of course, diminished by a higher level in order to make it suitable for an adjusted lower level. This is called zivug by Yesod and Yesodot, zivug the Yesodot. From Yesodot means the plural of Yesod, Yesod of the higher and Yesod of the lower. Where Yesod of the higher, everything that is higher means spiritual, qualitative higher that comes into something that is lower. So the Yesod of a higher comes into Yesod of the lower, and with a seed. And the seed is spiritual, is the light that comes from a masculine and feminine, like from Abba. Abba gives is a masculine of Binah, gives a white, so a seed, and feminine is the Ima, gives a red one, a bodily component. Yes? And from the middle line, as we call it, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Creator, the Holy One, blessed be He, gives the soul, the nefesh, the lower part of the soul. See? In such a way, this all we will learn how it works very profoundly. How it works, this Zeir Anpin gives to actually the Zeran being gives it to the Yesod, and the Yesod gives it to the Malchut, because the Malchut is the receiver of it. And how? Through the Ateret Yesod. But firstly, about this second type of the Zivug. This second type of the Zivug is called the bodily Zivug. Okay? Zivug Gufani. The bodily Zivug. And this is, of course, there are two different levels of Zivug. The Zivug of kisses, as it were, as we say, in the Peh. From that Zivug, this is Zivug only for the worlds. The worlds can be brought out from this kind of Zivugim. I mean, the world, it means not only these four worlds, Abiyah, but even by studying the Zohar, we produce, as it were, more and more worlds. By making us receptive, by receiving the light, we, as it were, building up the worlds. They are existing, of course, but they must come into existence in the lower world. It means by opening us for this light, for these lights. And the lights come never in the lower worlds. The lights doesn't come just in the naked form, just like light, and that's it. We say it like this, but of course always the light comes with a kind of an layer. It's wrapped into kli, and this is what we receive, and this is like worlds. So by zivugim that are made in the Peh, they come to the mainly for the building up of the worlds. Worlds, we mean also the levels, all kinds of levels of existence, of powers that are, by which that actually are outer forms of existence, whereas from the zivugim, of which are zivugim de gufa, the bodily zivugim. From the bodily zivugim can be born the souls. How? We will see why. Because souls means neshama. It means already that there are lights of nefesh, ruach, and neshama anyway are presented. Whereas from the zivug in the head, we have a different kind of only the light of ruach. We will see how it works further. So these two types of zivugim. There is a lot to say about this, how these zivugim take place also in the head. Step by step we will learn it, because the zivug can be made by, also in the head, can be made by a man, and be included, with that includes in itself a woman part, element. Or it can make also, and not or, but by kisses. There are 4 zivugim by kisses. Because a man kisses a woman, I just say it in the words like in our world, but it means the higher and the lower. When a man kisses a woman, then he has his own, how call it, what in the mouth we have, we have this, and we produce in the mouth the spuug, spit, yes, the spit. What a man has his own spit, you see. Then he has his own spit when he kisses a woman. It's spiritual what I speak. You see, it is. That's why when they hear a Kabbalist speaking about high spiritual things, they think, now what are they busy with? So when a man kisses a woman, then both of them kiss each other, but he gets his own spit, and he gets also a spit of her, that, as it were, getting connected to him, to his place, to his spit. Yeah? And she has also her own spit, and she gets the spit of the man. So it is an inclusion. In his case, is it inclusion of feminine spit into his masculine spit, and in her case, on the contrary. Okay, so there are 4 different types of this. We will study this everything. It's very profound what we are studying, because everything that a man must know in this world is how to communicate with his master, how to get this relationship function, because only from this we can grow, prosper, come to our fulfillment, and get the world fulfilled indirectly. You see, that's why we are studying this, how to connect this, and we call it different words, etc., etc. But all this must bring me closer to the light, to Ein Sof. And now we are turning back to our Zohar. At the end of the last lesson, he told us that Zeir Anpin, the Yesod of Zeir Anpin, has all these preparations in itself. And look at the Yesod. Look at the special function of the Yesod. Yesod connects the upper world with the lower world. Yes? The Yesod connects Zeir Anpin and all other structures or elements of the structure with the Malchut, and Malchut is further connected to the worlds Bria, Yetzirah, Asiyah, So lower, this is the function of the Yesod. So we see that Yesod is actually not really a sphera of, as we have learned already, of Zeir Anpin. It is a collection place, a place for collection of all the 5 chasadim that it receives from the Zeir Anpin itself. Zeir Anpin is actually the Tiferet, the representative of Zeir Anpin is the Tiferet. And all 5 of them it receives. And it receives also 5 gvurot from the Binah through itself, to give it to the Malchut. How? There is an special provision in the Yesod now, that Yesod Yesod itself is a masculine. It gives, it shines with 5 chasadim upon the Ateret Yesod, that is like a feminine part of Yesod, that, as it were, reflects these 5 chasadim by its 5 gvurot that were received by Yesod. You see that Yesod has two layers. One of it, the higher layer or level, is Zeir Anpin, belongs to Zeir Anpin, to the quality of Zeir Anpin. And the quality of Zeir Anpin, the upper quality of Zeir Anpin, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, is to give. Chasadim is to give. That's why Yesod for itself receives 5 chasadim. And Yesod has also Ateret Yesod, because Yesod, what is the Yesod? What is the place of Yesod in the structure of 10 Sferot? It is the middle line. It is between the Netzach and the Hod. So it also has, as it were, right and left. So right, as it were, is the Yesod itself, and left is the Ateret Yesod. Has more from is actually the inclusion of Hod, the left line, into the Yesod. And the Yesod itself is the inclusion of the right line. The right line is Chasadim, Netzach, into Yesod. So you can see it, that Yesod is up, and the Ateret Yesod is under the Yesod. Or we can see them right and left. How is it? How can we rhyme these two? Because if we are speaking about right line and left line, and the middle line, then we say it horizontal, as it were. Left and right, or right and left sides of the Yesod. When we are speaking about giving of the lights from one to another, then we are speaking from high and low. Higher and lower. Upper and lower. That's what we say about, in this connection, that we are speaking about higher and lower. higher is Yesod that actually has 5 chasadim in itself, that he receives from the right line, and no, not from the light actually well, but normally Yesod is in the middle line, and a sphera that in the middle line receives from the upper sphera that that lies in the same line. So Tiferet, okay? Because Tiferet actually combines all these chasadim from Chesed and Gvura, and chasadim actually from the Netzach and Hod in itself. And so Yesod has 5 chasadim, and Ateret Yesod receives through the European, but it receives 5 Gvurot from the left line, because Netzach is also in the left line, and the Gvura is also in the left line, so from the left line, and the mother Binah is also in the left line, so from the left line, and the Malchut is actually also has the quality of the left line in itself. By itself, the Malchut wants Gvurot, is quality of Gvurot, but she needs the Chasadim in order to soften these Gvurot. Then she can be delighted by that, and give it also to their children. And so in this way, the Yesod shines upon the Ateret Yesod, as with these 5 chasadim. You remember about the cup of benediction, all this comparison was given to us to see this interaction, and now we are speaking about concerning this, and over there we spoke about the Zeranpin and the Nukwa like this, but here we are speaking about Zeranpin and Ateret, Yesod and the Ateret Yesod. Between them is it a kind of zivug. Yesod shines now the 5 chasadim upon the Ateret Yesod, and Ateret Yesod reflects it as we have told, strikes this light, doesn't let it enter it, and then counts and how much it can receive, and then reflects it with its 5 gvurot that are exactly suit to these, to cover, to bring these 5 chasadim into it. And these two, then the product of this copulation, of this zivug, is 5 chasadim and 5 gvurot. 5 chasadim inside, and 5 gvurot are outside. It's the or choser, the reflected light, that covers these 5 chasadim and brings it into itself, and shines with this to the Malchut, okay, to the place that is called Malchut. Okay? Because Malchut exists also also in the Atzilut, we say that Malchut doesn't exist, as it were, that Ateret Yesod makes Zivugim. Yes, it's like this, it's right. But the Malchut, the nine upper Sefirot of the Malchut can receive the light, no problems. Yes, why? Because the Tzimtzum was made, Tzimtzum Aleph was made, the first Tzimtzum was made only for the first restriction was made only for the last stage, or the Malchut of the Malchut. But 9 Sefirot from Keter, or Keter de Malchut, we say it like this, you see, Keter de Malchut, or in place of Keter of Malchut, we say de is Aramaic of. Yes, is a genitive. So, possession, it gives a possession, the function of the possession. Keter of Malchut, we say Keter de Malchut. etc. up till the Yesod of the Malchut, they can receive the light. This is called the Malchut that is sweetened by the Binah. But the Malchut is not sweetened by the Binah. This Malchut is concealed, as it were, as we have said, in the head of the Partzuf Atik. And it works, of course, it has influences the other Malchuts, the places of other Malchuts of all the Partzufim, and all the souls that are coming on the earth in bodies, into bodies, during the 6,000 years of the creation. So, this is what we have learned, or what we have been learning up till now, about this special place of the Yesod and Ateret Yesod, that make this zivug possible, that they make this zivug between themselves, and then they provide it to the Nukva. Later we will, in the Torah, everything we can find in the Torah. In the Torah we find this parallel with Yosef and Binyamin. Yosef and Binyamin. You remember, Yosef was Yesod, and Binyamin was the last son of Yaakov. Yaakov is Tiferet, and Binyamin, that's why Yosef liked so much Binyamin. And you remember that when, normally I suppose that you already know the story of the Torah. Just plain story what is told in the Torah. That's why I just say it, and I suppose that you already have read it once or more times. If not, just read it plain translation. And so we see that when firstly we see how Yosef was worried about Benjamin. He was his real brother. we see the real brother. The only brother of Yosef was the Binyamin, and the last one, this was the authority son. And that's why they had such a relationship, that both, as it were, masculine, but he was the giver. Yosef was the giver of the light to him, but he needed, also Yosef needed Binyamin to make this, to give him, as it were, 5 gvorot, and we see that this, we can see it back in the Torah, in the narrative, in the story itself, that when Yosef received the brothers when they returned to Egypt with Binyamin, that he placed Binyamin opposite himself, and he gave him 5 times more than to other brothers. And now we know what 5 times more means. It's etc. So the Torah speaks only about this, about what we are learning now in the Zohar, but in other words, and not only the words. We can find in the Torah, in this wording, we can find more and more secrets, as it were, and it is a different covering of the light. This is a special covering of the light in the Torah. So, but everything what we are learning what we learned in the Zohar, we can find back in the Torah itself. Yes, and this story is in the Genesis, in the Breshit, of course. So we have some picture of zivug, how it takes place, a little bit, the meaning of it. Without this, the light can't be received. It's etc. And now we are turning back to our Zohar. Now for sure. The line the line 23, just to repeat, that we see that we will connect it to our Zohar. That's what he says. And that's why the essence of the zivug that is made on the masach, on the screen, 24, Hamale Hei Gvorot, which screen ascends 5 Gvorot, Amamshichot, that are drawn, Vahal Malbishot, and that dress, 25, at Hei Chasadim, that dress the 5 Chasadim, like Or Choser, as Or Choser, Shehem Hei Aurot, that they are, these 5 Chasadim, that they are lights, as said above. Hinei hu na'asab ba'isod, this, behold, this zivug is made 26, in the Yesod of the Zeir Anpin, Vehu Hanoten Otam Le Nukwa, and he, we use the gender of as is in Hebrew, you see, and he, Zeir Anpin, Hanoten Otam Le Nukwa, he is the giver of them to the Nukwa. But he just in general says, but before that he had spoken about the Ateret Yesod, that he receives. The Ateret Yesod makes this reflection of these 5 Chasadim. 26, after the point. Vize 27, Shemedayek להשמיענו, דההוא זרעה שהם ה' חסדים, 28, וה' גבורות, קיימה באות ברית ממש, כי באות 29 ברית, שהיא עטרת יסוד דזעיר אנפין, נמצאת ממשיות, 30, הגבורות הממשיכות, החסדים הנקראות זרע. The next page, the page Hey 5, the right column in Hasulam, the line 1. Aval hayesod hanukva mekabel kol bechinat diukna shel rak bechinat diukna shel to hagvorot shelo. And the last sentence, to line 2, after the point, Va'al ken nikra yesod hanukva rak bashem 3 diyukna debrit. Point. Very, very important what he says to us. We are turning back to the previous page, Dalet, the left column, the line 26 after the point. And now try an utmost concentration in yourself. Try to concentrate yourself fully, completely, as it possible for you at this particular moment. This concentration is actually a main part of the study, because this concentration must grow steadily. In this concentration is actually the mean to enter, to come out into the experience of the spiritual worlds themselves. And as more as you would learn it, how to concentrate, but just doing this, the quicker and the further you will come out into the spirituality, into the experiencing of the spiritual worlds and rising up upon the levels of the spiritual ladder. ladder. And the most important, the most difficult the most difficult stage is in this process of outcoming into spirituality, is the first step, just to reach, to come out of this placenta of the universe. And for this, you must develop a tremendous measure of this concentration. The concentration where you will not feel no one else, no other feelings, no other companion, no other attraction within yourself, within your heart, within your brains, wherever in yourself, but only this single striving, aspiration of coming out of this slavery of being imprisoned within your own ego. 26 after the point. וזה 27 שמדייק להשמיענו. And this is what he makes, what he gets, what he how do you call it? Precising. Can you say it like this? When what he, this is what he makes, the precision what he makes. Yeah, what he's precisely let us understand, or what he gives us exactly what he wants us exactly to understand from it. The Hahuzera, that this seed, Shahem Hei Chasadim Vei Gvorot, that these, what is the seed? That these are 5 Chasadim, 28, Vei Gvorot, and 5 Gvorot, as we learned already. Kaima Ba'ot Brit Mamash, they came into the Brit, into this sign of the covenant, exactly in, and the Brit is the covenant. This is this Yesod, that both of them came into this Yesod, and 5 Chasadim and 5 Gvorot. Yesod and the Teret Yesod. But this is Yesod, it all belongs to this Yesod. Kibaot 29 Brit, Shehi Ateret Yesod Tezair Anpin. Because in the sign of the Brit, of the covenant, 29, Shehi Ateret Yesod Tezair Anpin, that is the Ateret Yesod of the Zeir Anpin. Look what he says. So the Ateret Yesod is the covenant. The covenant with with the light, between the upper and the lower. Nimtzet mamashiyut hagvurot are situated the real gvurot 30 hamamshichot 5 chasadim hanikra zera that draw upon themselves the 5 chasadim, the 5 chasadim hanikra zera, that this is called zera, the seed. The next page, hey 5, the right column, in the Hasulam, the first line, Aval Yesod Hanikra Mekabel Rak Bichinat Diukna Shel Tu Hagvurot Shelo. No, it's not good. I didn't read it correctly. Aval Hayesod Hanukva. So it's not Hanikra. Hayesod Hanukva. Mekabel Rak Bchinat Diukna Shel Hagvurot Shelo. Very important what he says. Aval Yesod Hanukva, but the Yesod of the Nukva. You remember that the Zivug must be Yesod to Yesod. Yes? But the Yesod of the Nukva, he says, so of the Malchut. Mekabel Rak Bchinat Diukna Shel Hagvurot Shelo, receives only the aspect of the diukna, of the, as it were, the picture, afbeelding. Yeah, like the image of it. You see, the nukva receives only a kind of the image of his gvorot. So not the gvorot themselves. Look, very important that about this nukva, what we are learning now. That not that he gives the gvorot itself to her. All he keeps for himself. He keeps and gvorot, as it were, and chasadim, but his gvorot are situated in his Ateret Yesod. And his Ateret Yesod is the sign of the covenant. Yes? But she receives only as it were, in the mirror. Yeah? It is like, look, it is like as if she receives only in the mirror. She looks at him, because also the Zivug is also looking, watching each other. And she receives in him, she sees, as it were, the light that is within him. And as if in the mirror she sees these lights, and this light, that's why she gets only the image of these 5 gvorot of him. It is like how do you call it, stamp, like a stamp, and the image of the stamp. Yes, you can have a stamp, and if you just put it on the paper, or piece of paper, or you can put it on somewhere on the other engraved. You can engrave from a stamp. You can engrave the the picture or this relief that is on a stamp. You can stamp it on that receives this stamp, and this is the image of it. That's what the nukva receives, only the image of these gvurot. 2. Welken nikra yesod hanukva rak b'shem diyuk nadibrit. And that's why he says Welken, and that's why that's why nikra yesod hanukva. Look at this. Sometimes that's why we are making sometimes mistake. Look, like the second word is abbreviated after the point in the second line, and the third word in the first line. In this third word in the first line is it the abbreviation of the hanukva or nukva. You see, with a vav inside. And here is the abbreviation of nikra, of is called. So he says Valken, the line 2 after the point. Valken, and that's why nikra yesod hanukva, the yesod of the nukva is called rak only Bashem, in the name of 3 diyuk nadibrit, the image of the brit, the image of the covenant. But remember it that always must these two go together. The yesod of Zeir Anpin and the nukva must always go together. Only when they are together, they are real brit, real covenant. You see, the yesod is actually, as he told us, the ateret yesod is called brit, yes, the covenant. And we learned also that the bow in the sky, when it is in the rainy day, the rainbow, yes, the rainbow in the sky when it is a rainy day, or now after the rain, after it rained, then you see that, you remember that in the Torah was after the deluge that the Creator said that that he placed in the heaven, and the heaven is Shamayim, and Shamayim is Yesod, Shamayim is Zeir Anpin, yes? General Zeir Anpin. So in the sky that is Zeir Anpin, the Creator placed the rainbow that unites the Zeir Anpin, that unites the sky and the earth. Yes, the sky is Shamayim, is the Zeir Anpin. The rainbow is Ateret Yesod. Yesod and Ateret Yesod. That is the connecting chain. How do you call it? Schakel. That connects the Zeir Anpin and connecting link between the Shamayim and Va'aretz, between the Zeir Anpin and Nukwa. And Haaretz, the earth, this is the Nukwa. But it is always like this, that the Nukwa must always be connected with the Yesod. And what to do? What does it mean must? This is the covenant. This is as it were, the condition upon the universe and the world came into existence, with this condition, that the lower, and we are the lower, like the lower world, we are belonging to the lower world, the human race, that we must always, in every state, in every moment, perform within ourselves this brit, this covenant between the Nukwa and Zeir Anpin. No one does it for us. The connection between them, between the Nukwa and Zeir Anpin, are matter their zivug with each other, is a matter of our awakening them for the zivug, as I have told already this. So then we awaken ourselves, and we rise up this man request to them, and then they have, this is for them as an obligation to come into zivug and to produce the suitable answer, the portion which is coming to a man who awakens it, and to all the world. How to do it? How should a man do it? That's all what we are learning about, how to do it. And within us, there is exactly the same structure, only we must, in our inner, but only we must let the light, let the study make in us all the engravings, and to come also to experiencing our Yesod, and the Ateret Yesod also, and the Nukwa that in us is the same structure. And the same way, like we do, like in the higher, we must do it first in the here in the lower worlds, within ourselves. Then we will receive, we and the earth and all the creation will receive light, will receive the blessings, all good that we can receive, and perfection. If we don't do it, if we want just to receive the light for us, not through this system, through the middle line, through this Yesod, Ateret Yesod, to the Nukva, but we just draw it through the left line. Just from the Bina, from the left side, we just draw it aggressively into our uncorrected kilim. Then we receive the sadness, the terrifying things, floods, like never before in our remembrance. You see, all kind of things, terrible sicknesses, yes, all illnesses, catastrophes, everything bad. Because this is how it is built up. It is the instruction. What is the best way, just in 2 words, to say, what should I do? Give me in 1 word, just right now, an advice. In 1 word, is keep the covenant, keep the brit. You see, the brit is made by the Ateret Yesod. Keep the Ateret Yesod, keep it clean. Do you see? Look what you are doing with this. Even here on earth, not profane this, not make it dirty. Have only one partner. That's enough. Keep within yourself, always just be careful with everything what you are doing, with all your 4 places in your partzuf, in every situation. Look what the situation does with you. Look at your eyes. Look what you are doing with your eyes. In your eyes you have also Yesod, and Ateret Yesod on the level of your eyes. So you must know how to look with your eyes, in order not to, not to perverse your looking. Then your mouth and the eyes is the chokhmah. So know how to look. Then the mouth, know what to say and how to say. Sometimes we say beautiful things, nice things, but we are meaning something different. It's an irony, or like this, something that is not meant what we are saying. So keep it also. This is also in the mouth. There is also a place that's called Ateret Yesod, spiritual, within it. But the reflection of upon the outer side is also our speech. So this Ateret Yesod is also the covenant of the mouth. Know what to say. Don't perverse your Ateret Yesod, your covenant of speech. Then you have the heart, the 3rd point within yourself, the 3rd letter of the name of Havaya, Yud, Kei, Vav. This is the Vav. You see, the Vav is in prolonged letter. This prolongs the light into the body. And above the Wav, you see this Yud, the head of the Wav, Chokhmah that receives in the Gadlut. And this heart means also what you are doing with your heart every day. In the heart, in the Zeir Anpin, there is also a place, it's called Yesod, and the Ateret Yesod, the covenant of the heart. The heart must be circumcised to get only the pure wishes. And this is in our power to choose. If you feel that you are coming upon you in yourself dirty wishes, you must work within yourself at that moment and to get it cleansed. How? Take the Torah, take the Kabbalah, know how to come out of this situation. Then we have the fourth place in ourselves is the Yesod itself, in ourselves. The real Yesod, the place of the real covenant, is the covenant of the covenant, actually. The most important place in ourselves, that if you keep it clean and not perverse it, then in this Yesod there is also the Ateret Yesod, the Yesod of the Ateret Yesod of this Yesod. And this place, if you keep it, if you know how to keep it and how to clean up till the Yesod of the Yesod, this brings a person into experiencing of the Or of Chaya, of living light. And living light is the light that starts from the point actually where the placenta of the universe, the earthly coverage of the existence, the egoistical power, the wish to receive for the self, ends. So by Yesod of the Yesod, you can get in touch with the spiritual worlds. Of course, also with other places of the Yesod, you can get some connections with this, but then you get connections with the, let's say, if you keep it with your eyes, this covenant, and with your mouth, and with your, let's say like this, then you also can get, and on the level of the Yesod, of course, then you also can experience the light that is outside, beyond the placenta of the earthly existence, of the wish to receive for itself, but only on the level of Chasadim. But we need also the Chokhmah, as what we learn, that we need the Chokhmah, the light of the Chokhmah, of the light of the Chaya, the light of the living light, that is covered in the light of the Chasadim. And this we can only receive by working within ourselves to work out our inner up till all the fundamentals, up till all the yesods.